Hello there guys, it's Joey. So this is going to be a Halloween witchy haul. I went to visit my sister yesterday and I got to go to their local witchy place, which is an actual physical witchy store, which is wonderful really, because the stores that I can get to here aren't witch stores. They are metaphysical type stores, holistic based stores. They have crystals and things, and like they do have the odd divination set, the odd tarot, they do have pendulums and stuff, but it's not necessarily a witch based shop. So when I got to go there with my sister, it was seeing my family, which is one of the biggest blessings for me. And we went to a witchy shop together, and they had the crystals, of course, and then they had herbs, and they had statues, and they had metaphysical journals, and witchy books, and powders, and washes, and they actually had the 7-day candles that you can get in America, but they were really expensive here. I know in America you can get them for a few dollars, and here they were like £10, and I was like, yeah. That's how rare they are here. So that was a bit much really. So I didn't get any of those, but I got a few bits from there, and there's a few Halloweeny bits. There's some bits that my sister, well, there's one bit that my sister gave me that I will show you. We'll do Halloween bits first, and I'll actually do what my sister gave me. She actually found me some shot glasses, some skull shot glasses. She's like, oh, you can make little candles out of them maybe, and so I think that's probably what we'll do. I have bought some really beautiful skull candles for Halloween already. These should be okay. They might be okay. I'm going to have to be very, very careful when I try them because they are plastic, but they should be alright for wax as long as we're careful, but we'll try it, and if it's a complete disaster then I know never to do it again. But they're cool, and that she thought of me, and and they're awesome. I think they were from her Asda. Our Asda didn't have these at all. So, and then I got a couple of bits online, and I actually got these from the Poundland online, and because I went in there Poundland and they didn't have these, but they did have these online. So we got a little bat, snow globe, as you can see all the little black glitter moving. I just thought he was cute and fun, and he's a small little snow globe, but I thought he was awesome with the little castle. I really enjoy castles, so you know, Poundland, so a pound. And then I managed to get one of the Poundland signs. They're a relatively small one. I managed to get the black one with the Old Salem pub with the dancing skeletons on it. I wanted the white one as well with the witch and the broomstick sails on, but they didn't have those online. They were only available in store. I don't know why this one was available online and the other one wasn't, but basically I can't get it. It wasn't in our Poundland, and on eBay they are now marked up by about 400-500%. They're at least £5 on eBay plus shipping, and that's a markup of 500%, so that's crazy. So there you go. But I did manage to get this one. I really like it. I like its size. I like that it's sort of separated into 3, so it's a little bit like a fence, or yeah, like a picket sign or something like that. That's awesome. I love the fact it's Old Salem. You almost never see that. I don't think I've ever seen a sign in England that says, like, you know, referencing Salem and things. So, and then it's bewitching brew served dawn till dusk. So I really like that, and for £1 you can't argue with it. So, and then one thing which could be considered Halloweeny, it could also be considered witchy, is I picked myself up a new cinnamon broom. I found a place that does them for a reasonable price on Etsy, I think it was. Was it Etsy? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on Etsy. I can't really remember now, but it was a reasonable price. It's nowhere near as reasonable as America, where they get the great big massive brooms for a couple of dollars. I mean, that's never going to happen in England, but this is a lovely deep dark colour. Hopefully you can see. We've only got the light behind us, so it's kind of, camera's kind of blocking it a little bit, but it's a lovely deep dark colour, and it smells really, really good. So it's full on cinnamony. It smells really gorgeous. So It could work as a standard Halloween decoration, and it can work as a magical witchy decoration as well, of course. So for a magical witchy sense, cinnamon brooms are used for a number of things. A lot of people create their own talismans or amulets from them. They decorate their own, and they transform them into a protective sense and then hang their little cinnamon brooms up. You can use them in sort of a purification sense. I have one which is a smaller version, a slightly smaller version, and I use it for like just cleansing the altar, like this, just sweeping the altar. It's a slightly smaller version. It's a little bit more malleable than this one. This one has much firmer bristles, so this is probably going to just be decorated and hung up. Smells so good though, so cinnamony, and it makes a really good present either at Samhain, and you have your witch imagery, and you have, you know, jumping over the broom as a symbol of jumping into the new year, and you have sweeping away the debris of the past year, and flying in terms of a spiritual activity, not in terms of actual flying, and all that good stuff. But then it can also be an incredible gift for Yule, if you so desire, because of the cinnamon associations. A lot of us associate cinnamon with Yule, and just helping one through the darkest night. It uplifts, it protects, it helps us to remind us who we are, that sort of thing. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. I thought that was gorgeous. The smell is really, really nice. I picked up this book. I'm going to do a proper review on this book when I've read through a little bit more. But this is the Master Book of Herbalism by Paul Beryl. So for anybody who follows me and has followed me for any particular length of time, you know that I really, really enjoy the Herbal Compendium by Paul Beryl. And it's a much more in-depth herbal guide than the Cunningham book, and it has lots and lots of lore. And so he kept referring to his own Master Book of Herbalism, and I was like, okay, I really need to get it and read it. So in the Master Book of Herbalism, I'll just show you the contents page because you get a good insight. So this is lovely black and white imagery throughout, and this is the sort of thing that's in it. So hopefully you can read if you so desire, but I will read out. There we go. Bit closer, okay. So you have the nature of herbs, sensory perceptions, a brief history, the herbalist today, traditional herbalist, a history of the book, how to use the book, introduction to remedial herbal. So this is how to use it. So, you know, herb storage, mortar and pestle, filter, infuser, measure, miscellaneous tools, infusions, decoctions, preparations, poultice, ointment, washes, and so on. And then you have a guide for the remedial, it's first thing in the morning, you have to forgive me, herbal. So symptoms and herbal applications, so we've got a more health-based idea, and dosages and things. Then he moves on to the magical practitioner, the herbalist as a magical practitioner, herbs and astrology, herbs and tarot, amulets, herbs and gemstones, and the ritual uses of herbs. And then in your appendices you have your correspondences and such forth. So this book is amazing. I was super excited to see it. I managed to get it at a reasonable price on Amazon, so I was really pleased, and it came quickly as it always does with Amazon, so no complaints on that end. And what I've read so far, it's been just as good as the compendium. So I like that it's also divided into healing as well as magic. I like that. I picked up another piece of tourmaline, a nice big piece of tourmaline, a wand almost of tourmaline from Crystal Age Online. So I think what I'll do is I'll actually pop this down so you can see a little bit better, because obviously, there you go, because on the black background it's a little bit. This again was a reasonable price for here in England. It's quite a big piece. I can't remember the exact sizes because I haven't got it, but you know, my fingers, it's you know, a long piece. And I felt very, very drawn to it. And I don't know what it was, but I was like, I think I need this piece of tourmaline. I was just looking at it like, I don't necessarily need more tourmaline. I have a few pieces, but this particular piece, it was just sort of talking to me online, and I was like, okay. And it turns out that I did need it. I needed it this morning. I had nightmares last night, so that's always fun, and it helps calm me right down. So tourmaline is actually a stone that I used for grounding. I know that a lot of people use hematite, and I don't mind hematite. I'm not averse to hematite at all, and I think I would be better off with a rough piece. Like, there's some beautiful rough pieces on Crystal Age where they look like bubbling molten liquid. They look amazing, but for grounding, I don't know, it doesn't quite ground me in the way that I want. So I use it for grounding. Black tourmaline is generally used for purification and protection. I'm going to read to you the Robert Simmons, I'll read the Robert Simmons one from the Book of Stones and leave it at that. Crystals for psychic protection for anyone who must work or live in challenging places or circumstances. Carrying or meditating with one of these stones can keep one's auric field clear of imbalance, even in the presence of destructive energies. We all know we often encounter individuals or situations that emanate bad vibes. Indeed, we can broadcast them ourselves. Black tourmaline crystals act like etheric vacuum cleaners, clearing oneself and one's surroundings of negativity and disharmony. In addition, where such influences are not a problem, black tourmalines can provide high levels of purification which serve to elevate one's consciousness. It's also used for etheric purification. Carrying one, holding one in meditation, or sleeping with one can provide a refreshing dose of cleansing for the auric field and all dimensions of the etheric body. This clearing can even echo down to the physical form. The crystals are recommended for ridding oneself of negative thoughts, anxieties, anger, and ideas of unworthiness. The purification through black tourmaline is powerful and is an energy needed by all of us in challenging times. A number of black tourmalines are double terminated. These are the ideal specimens for body layouts because the flow of energy is enhanced equally in both directions along the crystalline form. So there you go. I suppose that actually could count as double terminated, I think. What do you reckon? With it being two of them there? I think so. Anyway, I really felt the need for it. It has a, oddly enough, looking at it through the camera, it has an almost cannon look. You know, like the barrel of a cannon, like an old cannon from history. It has that kind of effect, and that's, looking at it, like it could just like blow up negativity is what it looks like, and I'm getting that feeling. I'm getting the impression that it might have that energy and that feeling to it, and I'm wondering if this is going to be something to do with its name, because this is how often I get messages like this through crystals. So I'm going to sit with him for a bit. It's definitely a him, and have a feel about that's quite likely what's going on. And then I got some orange flowers, and so orange flowers are one of the last things I get from this particular place online, and because they're reasonable price still there. Orange flowers: love, lust, and good fortune, divination, and attract money. So I shall just have a look in the Herbal Compendium if I need to add anything to that. No, not really. So there you go. I use those in crafting and whatnot, so I got some more of those. Right, so on to the goodies that I got from Nottingham, where I used to come from, and all the generations of my family come from, on one side, apparently. My sister has been doing tracing the family tree, and on my grandmother's side there is a lot of them that just live there for a long, long time. So we're apparently very entrenched on one side. I'm not on the other at all, but, oh, my sister gave me some flowers. Hang on. So some Lysanthius flowers she gave me. That's what it says. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to say. She dragged me out some flowers. Isn't that awesome? In a little flower bag. That's so cool. I will look up if that's the right name or if I'm reading it wrong in a bit, but I forgot all about that. They were in there. I popped them in there so I wouldn't forget them. Right, so I went to their shop and I just picked up some bits and pieces. So I picked up some wall water. I tend to make my own wall water. I tend to prefer making my own wall water, but this was really inexpensive and I was like drawn to it, and I was like, might be good to have a wash. It's a floor wash or a water wash rather than an oil. I tend to prefer to make my own and work with oil, but I thought, you know, it's not expensive. I might treat myself and have a play. I tend to prefer this sort of thing making myself, but it kind of spoke to me. It kind of took me back to a place where I actually bought this structure oil, I think it was, really early on in my practice to get a feel for what these different oils and waters and things felt like. And I haven't really done it since the very, very beginning of my practice. And I thought, you know, I'd be interested to compare how I felt about those items then to now. And so I thought I would pick one up and have a play with it and see how I feel. Wall water can be used in a number of different ways. You can use it aggressively in aggressive magic if you so desire. I was taught very early on by a very experienced witch about incorporating wall water into your protection work in your home, and basically it sets up a level that if anybody attacks your home or sends negative magics and things at your home, then the wall water is quite aggressive in its repealing of their magic. So it basically repels that sort of negative energy really quickly, really fast, and without mercy. It's like, no, you're not getting into my house. No, you're not going to affect my space. Get out. Some people can use it as a cleansing when there's particular negative energies already in the house, or negative spirits are in the house. And also, of course, it works really well when your goddess embodies war energies amongst many, many other energies. So there you go. And along that line as well, I wanted Vesta powder. They didn't have Vesta powder, but they did have blasting powder, which the lady in the shop who I was talking to makes herself. Blasting powder is no nonsense negativity removal, basically. So there you go. That's what blasting powder is for. Ooh. And I'll I'm going to pop them all back in their bag probably afterwards, because I got quite a lot of their little herbs in this shop. They sell lots and lots of little herbs, and I'm going to try and remember what they're all for. And I actually looked that one up, so hang on one moment. So I got some of this. Oh, I was going to tell you about the oil first. Oh, derp. I'll tell you about this first. Okay, so I got some passion flower oil. They actually stock these little oils, which I've never seen stocked in a shop before. I've only seen them online. And passion flower is love, lust and protection. Love, lust, protection. This has a Morrigan vibe to it. That's basically why I picked it up. And we shall have a look in the herbal compendium for further. Is it not in here? Are you not in here? You must be in here. Ah, there you are. Neptune, Passion flower brings calm, may be used to promote calmness, which is the result of personal transformation. It may be used as an incense to change the energy of a meeting place, as a wash of the floors or furniture if there is potential for disagreement or stress. Sometimes added to ritual incense when celebrating the autumn equinox. That's interesting. With it being autumn, I mean, obviously we've passed the equinox, but with it being autumn, it might just be an autumnal feel to spell work and things. That's interesting. I had a very strong feeling that I would be working with this alongside tansy, which I've picked up and yet to work with. I keep meaning to work with it, keep looking at it going, I must work it. I must work with it. Right. One moment, persevere. So I picked up some saltree resin, which is also known as Sharia robusta, so it's a form of damar resin. From India, I believe, and is ethereal, strengthening, cleansing, purifying, and happiness. Damar gum resin is quite angelic and uplifting and light, and it's kind of fizzy. Does that make sense? And it's kind of, it really sort of bubbles up the joy. So I'll be interested to see if this has the same sort of feel to it. Just gonna open it and have a. It's a bit more woodsy than the usual damar gum, so I wonder if it's slightly different. It must be slightly different. It smells different, but so there you go. So we've got some of that. I tend to pick up things which I haven't worked with a lot, or that I find difficult to buy, difficult to get hold of, and so on and so forth. So let's just, I got quite a lot of these tiny little bags of herbs. So right. I'm just going to pop all the ones I've done already back in their bag, so you have to bear with me. Okie dokie, so I got some Hearties. You can see the tiny little bags, you can see the name of the place on the 30p. It's not bad, right? They are little. I don't really like getting little things that often, and but when they're like 30p, you can't really argue with it, can you? I can't anyway. I got a few things of this size. So Hearties is a herb of satin, herb of love, also called Call Me to You and Wild Pansy. The wild pansy has been known as a love charm, as we can even find in Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. Greaves, there's numerous common names which indicate use of this herb as bringing love. It's also used for easing the heart, which I guess is obvious, you know, like helping you if you're having emotional difficulty and struggling with emotions. There are a lot of satin-based herbs, I noticed. There's an ongoing theme with me. I've been working with satin a lot, and everybody seems really afraid of satin energy, and it's interesting to me because, let's just have that in shot while I talk a bit, because I think I always go for these energies that people are like afraid of or negative about, and like it starts off from a Morrigan place because they're, oh, she's a negative goddess, oh, she's a goddess of just war, just death, she's scary, why are you working with her mirror? And it's not like that at all, and it's I prefer to challenge those misconceptions, those ideas that I find to be limiting. And I think that's what's going on with satin, is I think that people see satin in this limited negative light as, oh, it's about boundaries, oh, it's about, you know, difficulties and challenges and remove. And they're like that with things like blackthorn as well, and hawthorn, and oh, it's scary, oh, it's only obstacles, oh, it's only negative. And I just walk in and I'm like, that's not how I see it, and that's not how I see it at all. And I just kind of have done that with blackthorn, I've done that with Morrigan energies, I've done that with obsidian, and now I'm doing it with Saturn energies. So there you go. I'm an argumentative moo, is what we're saying. Wishing beans! I just thought these were fun, so I'm fairly obvious what wishing beans are for. I've been watching too much Once Upon a Time, maybe, but I just saw them, I was like, ooh! I thought it was funny. And then some Arnica. So I haven't worked with Arnica yet. So just have a look if it is in the Herbal Companion. It is not. I've got a feeling this is another Saturn one, but I shall have a look. It's not in there either. Okay. One moment, I shall get the meanings for you. Is masculine in nature, associated with the harvest and harvest spirit, often used at midsummer, sacred to Freya, Ra and Apollo. It's too early in the morning. Aligned with the sun and the element of fire. To drive away thunderstorms, nope, won't be doing that. Can be used in general protective rituals as well as fertility for crops. Can be planted around an area to keep a spirit from entering or leaving. So there you go, that's what Arnica's used for. Okie dokie. So we've got some Jezebel root. Let's see if this is in the Herbal Compendium. I'm going to guess it's not. I guess this is going to be a looking one up online, but we shall. Have a look anyway. Yeah, it's not in there. Are you in the encyclopedia? I kind of doubt it. No, it's not in either of those. Right, 1 minute then. I know there's a really wonderful spell in the 5,000 spell Encyclopedia of the 5,000 Spells by Judica Isles, which is removing people that are really negative in your life and are hurting you with Jezebel root. It's more of a hoodoo one, I believe. Yeah. Can also be used by prostitutes to attract customers. Well, we won't be doing that. Oh dear. I guess you could use it in sexual rights then. It's quite dominating. Love, curse, money, compelling and lust. Often used by women wishing to attract a wealthy man. Yeah, it can be used to compel. And can also be used in removing curses by a skilled witch. So there you go. It has that kind of sense to it. And then some devil shoestring. Devil shoestring is used in all sorts of things. It can be used in money magic. It can be used in protection magic. I'm just going to look up actual meanings. It's just, again, it's another herb or root, which is more commonly used in hoodoo. Power to protect against evil, harm or gossip. Some folks carry them in a red flannel bag for protection from cross conditions, others carry them in a green flannel bag for luck. So there you go, that's what devil shoestring is. Let's try and keep it fairly short because there's quite a few of them. Balm of Gilead buds. I pick these up whenever I go there because they're the only place I can see them fresh. They are they're sort of known as an all-rounder, a real jack of all trades is probably wrong. I don't know, put it away. Let's see, let's just, yeah, using any form of magical healing, water feminine, burning the buds is said to attract spirits. Also used in hoodoo to bring together estranged lovers. You can extract the resin by simply filling a jar with olive oil and let macerate for a few weeks. Add a few drops of vitamin E. This would make a great oil of consecration, which is what it is most often used for, or a perfumed oil good for love magic. So, a mandrake. A mandrake, a mandrake, a mandrake. There's a long history of European witches using mandrake. And you can tell that by the multitude of names. Here we go. Are you ready? Alrun, Anthropomorphion, Barra, Sprain Thief, Circeum, Circeoa, Galgenmachen, Manchen, that might be German, Galgenmanchen, Gallows, Herb of Circe, Hexenmanchen, German, Witches Maldin, Ladykins, Mandragin, Mandragore, Mannequin, Raccoonberry, Semi-Homo, Wild Lemon, Woman Drake, Zauberwurzel, or Sorcerer's Root. Masculine Mercury Fire, sacred to Hathor and Hecate, protection, fidelity, money, love, and health. So there you go. I'm just going to zoom through because we've still got a few. And then a Bethroot. So Bethroot is one I haven't used before, and it's a fertility one. It's an abundance one, I believe. I will look it up. Oh, is this another? Ah, haha! It is ruled by Saturn. I thought so. I thought there were more Saturns. This magical herb is concerned with borders. It is used in protection magic to strengthen one's borders by returning negative magic to sender and protect the family. The fresh root was also used as an aphrodisiac by the native people, so it also has a strong Venus aspect as an important in love magic. Also known as birth root, and so on. Right. So there you go. I know there was more Saturn in here. I knew it. Let's, so then we've got some Devil's Claw root. Mars fire, associated with Isis, Athena and Shiva. Powerful exorcism and purification herb. It is burnt on a charcoal disc to cleanse house of negativity, or when casting a magic circle to clear any residual negative energy to create a pure space for your magical work. Good herb to burn when moving into a new home to remove the residual energy of previous tenants. Its powerful protective qualities work well as an amulet placed in doorways and may protect against unwanted intruders. I tend to get Devil's Claw in the root, the big root form, the I don't know, they look like lily pads. But they had it here in a sort of smaller form, and it was inexpensive for this. I got two. It was inexpensive for the smaller form, so I really wanted to grab hold of that. Then I got hold of some eye bright. So eye bright is masculine, sun, air, mental powers, psychic powers. Particularly, it's used in teas to aid the memory. The infusion applied to the eyelids on cotton pads induces magical clairvoyance. Carry to increase psychic powers. Also, when you want to see the truth in a matter. And then we got some Ursi. I don't know the meanings of this one, I haven't used this one before. Also known as bearberry. Animals, protection, strength. Employed it in Native American shamanistic training and skills of divination and prophecy. Used by those wishing to increase their psychic ability. Added to sachets to strengthen psychic powers. So there you go. And the very last thing I got is actually a couple of little crystals. These are a couple of watermelon tourmaline. They were too adorable. I had to have them. So watermelon tourmaline is a mixture of a pink and a green tourmaline, and therefore combines the energies of both. It's very much for the heart chakra, protective and healing for the heart chakra. It cleanses out. So it's actually been a tourmaline kind of week. Let's grab it quickly and see if I'm missing anything from the Book of Stones. Heart chakra, water, calm, joy, healing the heart on all levels, love, compassion. I am at one with the serenity and joy of being. So there you go. These are some bits and pieces I picked up on my trip and little bits that I've picked up over time. And I just thought I would share that with you. I had an amazing time seeing my family. It was a real joy and it really lifted my spirits. So that was wonderful. So that's it for this video. Many blessings.